Ladies and gentlemen, are we on the internet? We are, in fact, on the internet. Welcome to the SOVL Tournament Finals, everyone. I streamed my tournament finals last week, or earlier in the week, and this is me. I am on top, rank number 1 with 682 difference points. This is the difference between your score and your opponent's score after the match. And we have a couple of challengers to my crown here. We have Thisguyy Konovolov, or whatever that is, Zarly in it. He is Cyberogg, and he only needs 142 at the beginning of life points in order to beat me out for first place. He's facing off against Rob, this guy, with 398 points, so he's actually not that far behind either. He could conceivably, with like a 500-0 or something like that, pull out first place here. Rob is playing Greenskins, which is my personal favorite SOVL race. I love a big horde army. And then not Dr. Quantum, Sarleonid is playing as Chaos Demons, which is the race that I also played in this tournament. We're going to hop into the stream as soon as it's ready. They are just currently deploying. So I'm going to go ahead and share this to the Discord while we are waiting for them to set up. Initially, this guy was going to stream the setup, but I told him that maybe he might want to hold off on that just in case Zarleonid Cyberogg decides to have a little peek, get a little bit of an advantage, see what the list is, and see where he's deploying his stuff. I would imagine that Cyberogg is probably going to bring a bunch of Plague Demons, and then this guy, I think that my list that I usually run in PvP for 500 is probably the best for this, because it's really good at grinding down enemies. Bunch of trolls, bunch of goblins, some boar boys, and a catapult. Hallister, another one of the better players out here. He is not doing that well this tournament, unfortunately. 1 and 2 with the rat boys. Sometimes it do be like that with rats. They do have very poor discipline. Hang on a second here. Sorry. The sun suddenly just shone through my window. It is very early in the morning here. The sun just cresting over the houses. We are live. How do I get this up? Here we go. All right. How do I full screen it? Full screen. There we go. All right, here we are. Cyberogg with 2 units of bloodletters. 1 unit of I would not have set up like this. Yeah, the bolt thrower here, probably a good take for the orc player. He uses it to take out a couple of flame boys. What are they? Fire demons. 2 units of plague flies. Great jamming units, great mobility units. Don't deal a lot of damage, but they are very tough and very cheap. The 2 units of plague bearers are the chop, and then we've got some plague boys in the middle here. Oh, this is a lord with 2 flies retinue. Where is? Okay, we've got a goblin. I'm assuming goblin shaman on a spider. Very good stuff. Let me get into the Discord here. Just gonna quickly ask them what they have on their lords. Flame demons absolutely should have been screened here. There's no reason why you shouldn't have screened them. You could have put them behind the flies if you were concerned about them not being able to move up as far because of the plague bears. That's a pretty big problem for him. He's not going to... Like, he's popped the fly thing. Phase out gives you plus 4 inches of movement in flight. I would just move him right in behind those plague bears. That's probably the best move. You don't want to get shot by that bolt thrower again. The bolt thrower, very inaccurate, but it does have deadly wounds, so it does 2 wounds per hit. And it looks to have taken out one of the flamey boys early on here. Great tool against demons because virtually everything is multi-wound. This, and this are all multi-wound targets. It looks that we have dual-wielding orcs for the greenskin player, which is an interesting choice. These have 2 attacks each now and only defense 3, but they are power 4, which means that they match the power. They match the defense of all of the enemy units and do better than match on the plague flies and the flamey boys. The giant is a great unit to put up against pretty much this entire army. Nothing in this army has power 6, I don't think. I believe these are power 4 base. Then so actually with great weapons they do charge for power 6, I think. On the bloodletters. And that defense 6 is gonna make the giant really, really tanky. If it was me, I would try and put it into the plague boys, because then you get 2-up saves against them while you're in melee. And you can just grind them down, put a unit of orcs on their flank, and just crunch those guys, because they are going to just stick in the objective and never leave otherwise. Goblins on the flank on wolves, probably going to fight the plague flies, probably going to get stuck in melee with them, and probably going to get crunched eventually, unfortunately. No chatters in the chat as of yet. I don't really use Discord all that much. I'm just trying to see if there's a way to make this bigger. Okay. Not that I can see. The choppy corn boys moving up. The flies testing their limits of movement. Oh, the wolves have to go. Okay. Puts them into the woods. I would try to get a sneaky side charge on these bloodletters if possible, but you'd have to move them after the flies, which is the problem. And he probably doesn't want the spider to get in with the flies, because that's going to be a pretty good chance for the spider to run away, and then you don't get your Primal Furies off. Primal Fury, best spell in the game right now. Mostly because all of the other really good spells have been nerfed. Like Hex got nerfed, Web got nerfed down... Well, Web got buffed and then nerfed, and is still really strong. But Primal Fury has been untouched. I think that you could probably remove the +1 power from it. And that would probably be just fine. Hide members. Let's look something up, hang on. How do you hide members? Sorry, guys. I am a professional streamer, I promise. Centermost stream viewer, full screen. Hide members, there we go. Well, that was more difficult than it should have been. People at Discord, man, like every one of these tech companies, someone has to like justify their existence at the company, so they make little changes to the UI to make it worse generally. See, this is the problem with moving up the spider. Now he's going to get side charged, there's going to be a +1 combat resolution, and the spider might lose combat, which would be really, really bad. I'm sorry that the screen quality isn't better, but Discord streams are generally like 480p or something stupid like that. It's 720p. Look at that. That's like, you know, old HD. I'm old enough to remember when 720p was the HD resolution. We didn't have 1080? Come on, 480 was like high res back then. Alright, the charging phase. So plague flies go into the wolves, the plague flies go into the shaman, and that's basically gonna be it, right? Like that's... I don't think that the giant's in charge range currently. Yes, the bloodletters, I know that they're not technically bloodletters, but they're basically bloodletters. They are, in fact, power 6 on the charge, so they can actually hurt the giant pretty significantly. This guy needs to be very careful about not allowing those bloodletters to charge his giant. Because if they do, it's going to be real bad news for him. This giant needs to live the entire game and just grind down the Plague Boys. I think that you put the orcs into the bloodletters. Chop them up real quick. They will also chop up the orcs in turn. But the giant isn't going to get hurt by this unit pretty much at all because of 2-up saves. So that's where you want the giant for sure. Then as long as you have 1 unit of orcs on the point, you'll be in pretty good shape. No, you gotta go like over here. See, the problem is he put the giant into the woods, which limits its mobility. That was a bad decision in my opinion. I would have probably put it around this flank. Then maybe on charge phase, you can declare charge first and charge the flies and keep them off the wolves. And then the wolves can use their mobility to get around behind and maybe rear charge these guys, crunch them, and then put them into crumble and get rid of them without having to deal with their very, very scary attacks. In case you don't know, the Devil Spawn, the Bloodletter copies, have 2 attacks each with, what's it called? Frenzy. They have Frenzy, so they get to reroll all of their attack rolls in the first round of combat, which is absolutely terrifying. But this guy is in the objective. He's going to front charge the Plague Boys with his orcs, and he's going to get shot by... Oh no, it's a catapult. It's not a bolt thrower, it's a catapult. I would have gone with a catapult myself as well. This is actually literally a list that I have thought about running. I was like, bolt thrower? Okay, I don't know where the extra points for that went, but this is a list that I've thought about running, but honestly, I don't like orcs that much. And I don't like wolf riders that much. They're too squishy. They just get shot to pieces by bows. Obviously not a problem in this matchup, but you do have the flamer problem in this matchup, and now those orcs are making 5-up saves. Now, goblins would also make 5-up saves against the flamer, but hey, when I have goblins, I don't care about them, right? I don't care if the goblins die. That's not a big deal. Yeah, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get a... well, you might be able to get a side charge. Oh, he's thinking about going into the flies. That's interesting. That's an interesting call right there. Going into the flies frees up the spider so that it can come into the center. Now, you are giving up objective for at least 1 turn doing that, which is definitely not a great idea, because demons win by holding objective. That's pretty much their win condition. It's going to depend on where he wants to put that giant. Can he get the side charge here? That's really dicey, whether that's a side charge or not. He's like, you gotta count the pixel on that one. I think that is not a side charge. And I think that this guy has realized that. That's definitely a lot closer. It's still narrow, but I think that counts. I think that definitely counts. That's like... that's literally splitting a hair. That's splitting a pixel on whether that's in or not for a side charge. I do think that is probably safer. Because that's definitely a side charge, and then you can charge the Plague Walkers on 2 different sides. Oh, that's kind of heartbreaking, honestly, because he is really close. And freeing up the spider would be very nice. Because the spider does hit pretty hard. It can chew through a bunch of those Plague Boys pretty quick. And he goes for the risk. Okay. He risks it to try and free up the spider. There's a very good chance that he is not going to have that charge. And then I think what he's going to do here is he's trying to not let them have line of sight on his giant to charge. But I don't think that they will. So as long as he's on the other side of the forest, because the one Devil Spawn unit is in the woods, their movement is effectively about 2/3-ish of the shown movement. So they won't be able to get through the woods. So if you turn... if you back up out of the woods and then turn, you can side charge the plague spawn. Now, the problem with that... Okay, well, now you've just given him a charge. That's just giving a charge to the plague spawn for no reason. Or, sorry, to the devil spawn for no reason. I would not have done that. The thing about demons that's really weird is their good units are incredibly good, and their bad units are really bad. I am of the opinion that Devil Spawn are very bad. Yes, they hit hard, but they are incredibly overpriced. They are so incredibly expensive. I wouldn't even say that they're overpriced. It's just you're getting 2 attacks on a model with Frenzy. So obviously it's going to be expensive. And expensive units are not great in this game. Because you want to have more activations than your opponent. Oh no, things are going very, very badly. Oh, it's the Lord. He's gonna assassinate the goblin. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, well that's actually kind of great though, because it means that he gets to charge with the orcs, and then he can probably kill the Abyssal Herald. So that's pretty good. Now the problem is that spider might just run away and run off the board. That's why... Okay, hang on. What does he have? Oh, he has Lord of War. Okay, those Devil Spawn are even more dangerous than I thought. The wolves did very well in combat, by the way. That's crazy. They absolutely crushed those flies. 3 weapon skill versus 2. Who knew? Oh! Uh-oh! You gave him a side charge with the giant. Oh, that's... Yes, take the charge. Absolutely you take the charge. You've got to grind down those plague boys. That's the only way you're going to win. Now, the Devil Spawn on the left flank are going to kill those wolves. Guaranteed. Those wolves are gone. They're not coming back. But they're out of the objective for 2 turns. So it's going to be turn 6 when they come back in. Which means that the fight in the middle might get won. Oh, and the spider rallies, but it's going to get flamed. It's getting flamed. Okay, the spider's okay. The spider is alright. No catapult hurts. No catapult hurts. This is the correct decision. You want to catapult the bloodletters once they are... Oh! Clever. Clever. He's anticipating that the orcs might run away. I think that that's a lot less likely than the other side getting beaten. Cyberogg has nothing on his lord, he said, by the way. Oh, yeah. That's about what I expected. Unfortunate for those wolves, but they did a great job distracting those demons for a couple turns. Okay, the orcs win combat? They do, so the Lord crumbles and probably dies. Yep, he's gone. No, he's not gone! He's alive! Oh, that's really bad for him. That's really, really bad for him. Oh, and then the spider's gonna get charged by the bloodletters. Oh. That's rough. That spider's gonna get eaten. And the orcs have nothing to hold the objective, so demon. This is a demon win, 100%. I think that my first place has been thoroughly stolen. Unfortunately. Not really anything I can do about it. Yeah, he's gonna get side charged by the fire demons. He's gonna get front charged by the plague bears or bloodletters, and that's pretty much gonna be it, ladies and gents. First place goes. Yeah, I don't know about that. Now the fly gets to charge your catapult. And goblin catapults are not great at sticking around. You gotta use your primal, though. You gotta use your primal. I would probably use it on the spider, yeah. He hasn't used any of his primal furies yet? Oh, he didn't have a chance to. I mean, he did have a chance to. He should have absolutely used it against the flies. He absolutely should have used it. I didn't realize that he didn't pop his Primal Fury against the flies. That was a huge mistake, in my opinion. You gotta break that flank, and then... like, if he had used it against the flies, he probably would have won that combat and then crumbled the Lord. And then this is an entirely different kettle of fish. Then the orcs get to go into the middle and maybe win. That center objective? I don't know. This is real rough. This is really rough. Yeah, the spider. The spider's gone. That's a shame. And now now the flame devils are gonna kill the orcs. Oh no, those poor orcs. Move them into the woods. Move them into the woods. Maybe you'll get lucky on the... No, you need the cover, man. You need the cover. You can take a side charge more than you can take a full force fire blast. Oh boy. Oh boy. Like, if you gotta move through the woods, you gotta give yourself cover. No! I knew that wasn't in. Oh, that sucks. Now he's gonna get side charged and hit with fire. Full force flamethrowers. This guy. Oh no. Yeah, as I said, turn 6, the bloodletters have returned. And it is not looking good for this guy. He's drawn combat every single turn. That's so rough. On average, that giant does beat the not the bloodletters, the plague boys in combat, I think. Just because of 2-up saves versus 5-ups. Yeah, nothing you can really do about that, honestly. I think I would probably hide in the woods and just hope that I can, like, make my saves. But yeah, that orc is gone. And, first place... First place to demons, it looks like. Can the giant hold on? That's a tall order against Devil Spawn. He does hold. Man, I think that giants need to hold objectives again. That was not a nerf that was ever needed. Single models holding objectives wasn't ever a problem. I think that it should be reverted. In my opinion, giants aren't very good. They're too expensive for what you get. and they can't hold objectives anymore, and the game is entirely based on objectives. Yeah, that's a healthy lead. That is first place. First place to Evgeny Konovalov, also known as Cyberogg. Well, that's disappointing, but we still have second place, which is not too bad. I'm pretty sure there's no one else that's even close to being able to threaten me in first place here. Yeah, it was just him, so... second place for Manny, first place for Zarleonid. Both playing Chaos Demons, so, you know, maybe my assessment of Chaos Demons being really, really weak is wrong. I could be wrong. I think that they're not very good. But, anyways, that's going to be it for this little tournament cast. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys again real soon.